Hello guys, Taiba here. Assalamu alaikum. You are watching your own channel Audiovisual Books. The book today I have for you to read it together is Secrets of the Self by Allama Muhammad Iqbal. The what is in the book, in the short book of only 30 pages of PDF, I can't tell you. Really, I can't explain its beneficial effects. This is the first book that changes my mind, my way of thinking, my attitude towards my problems, my behaviors. It shows me new horizons of life. This is the book that connects you to literature, to you, to yourself, to to each and everything that is needed to you in your life you can achieve if you have the vision, and this book will give you the vision. I am damn sure you will enjoy it. This short book, when I read first time, I could not sleep many nights. What is in it? You can see, you can listen with me in this journey. The original book is in Persian, Israr-e-Khudi. This is an English version of that. Let's start. Secrets of the Self. Introductory note by Iqbal. The experience should take place in finite centers and should wear the form of finiteness is in the end inexplicable. These are the words of Professor Bradley. But starting with these inexplicable centers of experience, he ends in a unity which he calls absolute and in which the finite centers lost their finiteness and distinctness. According to him, therefore, the finite center is only an appearance. The test of reality, in his opinion, is all inclusiveness, and since all finiteness is infected with relativity, it follows that the latter is a mere illusion. To my mind, this inexplicable finite center of experience is the fundamental fact of the experience, is the fundamental fact of the universe. All life is individual. There is no such thing as universal life. All life is individual. There is no such thing as universal life. God Himself is an individual. He is the most unique individual. The universe, as Dr. McTaggart says, is an association of individuals, but we must add that orderliness and adjustment which we find in this association is not eternally achieved and completed in itself. It is the result of instinctiveness or conscious effort. We are gradually traveling from chaos to cosmos and are helpers in this achievement. Nor all the members of the association fixed. New members are never coming to but to cooperate in the great task. Thus, thus the universe is not completed act. It is still in the course of formation. There can be no complete truth about the universe, for the universe has not yet become whole. The process of creation is still going on, and man too takes his share in it, inasmuch as he helps to bring order into at least a portion of the chaos. The Quran indicates the possibility of the other creators than God. Quran chapter 23, verse 14. Blessed is God, the best of those who create. Obviously, this view of man and the universe is opposed to that of the English New Hegelians, as well as to all forms of pantheistic Sufism, which regards absorption in a universal life or soul as the final aim and salvation of man. The moral and religious ideas. The moral and religious ideal of man is not self negation but self affirmation. And he attains to this idea by becoming more and more individual, more and more unique. The Prophet said, Takhalaku bi ikhlaqullah. Create in yourself the attributes of God. Thus, man becomes unique by becoming more and more like the most unique individual. What then is life? It is individual. It is highest form. So far is the ego, Khudi, in which the individual becomes a self-contained exclusive center. Physically as well as spiritually, man is self-contained center, but he is not yet a complete individual. The greater his distance from God, the less his individuality. He who comes nearest to God is the completest person, not that he is finally absorbed in God. On the contrary, he absorbs God into himself. The true person not only absorbs the word of matter by mastering it, he absorbs God himself into his ego by assimilating divine attributes. Life is a forward assimilative movement. It removes all obstructions in his march by assimilating them. Its essence is the continual creation of desires and ideals, and for the purpose of its preservation and expansion, it has invented or developed out of itself certain instruments, for example, senses, intellect, etc., which help it to assimilate obstructions. The greatest obstacle in the way of life is matter. Nature, yet nature is not evil since it enables the inner parts of life to unfold themselves. The ego contains to freedom by the removal of all observations in its way. It is partly free, partly determined, and reaches fuller freedom by approaching the individual, who is most free God. In one word, life is an endeavor from freedom. Life is an endeavor for freedom, the ego and continuation of personality. In man, the center of life becomes an ego or person. Personality is a state of tension and can continue only if that the state is maintained. If the state of tension is not maintained, relaxation will ensue. Relaxation will ensue. Since personality or the state of tension is the most valuable achievement of man, he should see he does not revert to a state of relaxation. That which tends to maintain the state of tension tends to make us immortal. Thus, the idea of personality gives us a standard of value. It settles the problem of good and evil. That which weakens it is bad. Art. Art, religion, and ethics must be judged from the standpoint of personality. My criticism of Plato is directed against those philosophical systems which hold up death rather than life as their ideal system, which ignores the greatest obstruction to life, namely matter, and teach us to run away from it instead of absorbing it. As in connection with the question of the freedom of the ego, we have to face the problem of matter. Similarly, in connection with its immorality, we have to face the problem of time. Bergson has taught us that time is not an infinite line in the spatial sense of the word line through which we must pass whether we wish it or not. This idea of time is adulterated. Pure time has no length. Personal immorality is an aspiration. You can have it if you make an effort to achieve it. It depends on an adopting in this life modes of thought and activity which tends to maintain the state of tension. Buddhism, Persian, Sufism, and allied form of ethics will not serve our purpose, but they are not wholly useless because after periods of great activity, we need opiates, narcotics, and for some time. These forms of thought and action are like nights in the days of life. Thus, if our activity is directed towards the maintenance of a state of tension, the shock of death is not likely to affect it. After death. After death, there may be an interval of relaxation, as the Quran speaks of a barzakh, or intermediate state, which in the case of some individuals will last until the day of resurrection. Quran chapter 23, verse 102. Only those egos will survive this state of relaxation who have taken good care during the present life. Although life abhors repetition in its evolution, yet on Bergen's principle, the resurrection of the body too, as Wildengar says, it quite possible. By breaking up time into moments, we spatialize it and then find difficulty in getting over it. The true nature of time is reached when we look into our deeper self. Real time is the life itself, which can preserve itself by maintaining that particular state of tension, that is personality, which it has so far achieved. We are subject to time so long as we look upon time as something spatial. Spatialization. Time is a fetter which life has forged for itself in order to assimilate the present environment. In reality, we are timeless, and it is possible to realize our timelessness even in this life. This revelation, however, can be momentary only. The education of the ego. The ego is fortified by love. This word is used in a very wide sense and means the desire of assimilate, to absorb. Its highest form is the creation of values and ideals, and the creation and the endeavor to realize them. Love individuals, the lover as well as the beloved. The effort of realize the most unique individuality individualizes the seeker and implies the individuality of the sought. For nothing else would satisfy the nature of the seeker. As love fortifies the ego, asking weakens it. All that is achieving without personal effort comes under asking. The son of a rich man who inherits his father's wealth is an asker or beggar. So is everyone who thinks the thoughts of others. Thus, in order to fortify the ego, we should cultivate love, that is, power of assimilative action, and avoid all forms of asking, that is, inaction. The lesson of assimilative action is given by the life of Prophet, at least to a Muhammadan. In another part of the poem, I have hinted at the general principle of Muslim ethics and have tried to reveal their meaning in connection with the ideal of personality, with the idea of personality. The ego, in its movement towards uniqueness, has to pass through three stages. Obedience of law, self control, which is the highest form of self consciousness or egohood, divine vicegerency. This divine vicegerency is the third and last stage of human development on earth. The vicegerent is the vicegerent of God on earth. He is the completest ego, the goal of humanity, the acme of life, both in mind and body. In him, the discord of our mental life becomes a harmony. This highest power is united in him with the highest knowledge. In his life, thought and action, instinct and reason become one. He is the last fruit of the tree of humanity, and all the trials of a painful evolution are justified because he is to come at end. He is the real ruler of mankind. His kingdom is the kingdom of God on earth. Out of the richness of this nature, he lavishes the wealth of life on others and brings them nearer and nearer to himself. The more we advance in evolution, the nearer we get to him. In approaching him, we are raising ourselves in the scale of life. The development of humanity, both in mind and body, is a condition precedent to his birth. For the present, he is a mere ideal. But the evolution of humanity is trending towards the production of an ideal race of more or less unique individuals who will become his fitting parents. Thus, the kingdom of God on earth means the democracy of more or less unique individuals, presided over by the most unique individual possible on earth, on this earth. Nietzsche had a glimpse of this ideal race, but his atheism and aristocratic prejudices marred his whole conception. Secrets of the Self. Here it starts. Let's see few of its verses. Let's start. Secrets of the Self. But yester eve, a lamp in hand, the sheikh did all the city's span. Sick of mere ghost, he sought a man, but could find none in all the land. I Rustam or a Haider seek. I Rustam or a Haider seek. I am sick of snails. Am sick, he said. There is none, said I. He shook his hand. There is none like them. But still I seek. Prologue. When the word illuming sun rushed upon night like a brigand, my weeping bedewed the face of the roses. My tears washed away sleep from the eye of Narcissus. My passion wakened the grass and made it grow. The gardener tried the power of my song. He sowed my verse and reaped a sword. In the soil he planted only the seed of my tears and wove my lament with the garden as warp and woof. Though I am but a mote, the radiant sun is mine. Within my bosom are 100 dawns. My dust is brighter than Jamshed's cup. It knows things that are yet unborn in the world. My thought hunted down and slung from the saddle a deer that has not yet leaped forth from the covert of non existence. Fair is my garden. Fair is my gardener, yet the leaves are green. Unborn roses are hidden in the skirt of my garment. I struck dumb the musician where they were gathered together. I smote the heartstring of the universe, because the lute of my genius hath a rare melody. Even to comrades my song is strange. I am born in the world as a new sun. I have not learned the ways and fashions of the sky, not yet have the stars fled before my splendor, not yet is my quicksilver stair. Untouched is the sea by my dancing rays. Untouched are the mountains by my crimson hue. The eye of existence is not familiar with me. I rise trembling, afraid to show myself. From the east my dawn arrived and rooted night. A fresh dew settled on the rose of the world. I am waiting for the votaries that rise at dawn. Oh happy, oh happy they who shall worship my fire. I have no need of the ear of today. I am the voice of the poet of tomorrow. My own age does not understand my deep meanings. My Joseph is not for for this market. I despair of my old companions. My Sinai burns for the sake of Moses, who is coming. Their sea is silent like dew, but my dew is storm ridden like the ocean. My song is an other word than theirs. This bell calls other travelers to take the road. Many a poet was born after his death, opened our eyes when his own were closed, and journeyed forth again from nothingness. Like roses blossoming over the earth of his grave, albeit caravans have passed through this desert. They passed as a canal, as a camel steps with little sounds. But I am a lover. Loud crying is my faith. But I am a lover. Loud crying is my faith. The clamor of judgment day is one of my minions. My song exceeds the range of the chord. Yet I do not fear that my lute will break. 'Twere better for the water drop not to know my torrent, whose fury should rather madden the sea. No river will contain my omen. My flood requires whole seas to hold it. Unless the bud expands into a bed of roses, it is unworthy of my spring cloud's bounty. Lighting slumbers within my soul, I sweep over mountains and plain, wrestle with my sea, if thou art a plain. Receive my lightning, if thou art a snare. The fountain of life hath been given me to drink. I have been made an adept of the mystery of life. The speck of dust was vitalized by my burning song. It unfolded wings and became a firefly. No one hath told the secret which I will tell. Earth hath and a pair of thought like mine. Come if thou set knows the secret of everlasting life. Come if thou would wouldest win both earth and heaven. Heaven taught me this lore. I cannot hide it from comrades. O Saki, O Saki, arise and pour wine into the cup. Clear the vexation of time from my heart. The the sparkling liquor that flows from Zamzam. Were a beggar to worship it, he would become a king. It makes thought more sober and wise. It makes the keen eye keener. It gives to a straw the weight of a mountain, and to foxes the strength of lions. It causes dust to soar the Pleiades, and a drop of water surges to the breath of sea. It turns silence into the din of judgment day. It makes the foot of the partridge red with blood of the hawk. Arise and pour wine into my cup. Pour moon, pour moonbeams into the dark night of my thought, that I may lead home the wanderer and imbue the idle looker on with restless impatience, and advance hotly on a new quest, and become known as the champion of a new spirit, and be to people of inside as the people of the eye, and sing into the ear of the world like a voice, and exalt the worth of poesy. The sprinkle the dry herbs with my tears. Inspired by the genius of the master of Rome, I rehearse the sealed book of secret lore. His soul is the flaming furnace. I am but as a speck that gleams for a moment. His burning candle consumed me. The moth. His wine overwhelmed my goblet. The master of Rome transmuted my earth to gold and set my ashes aflame. The grain of sand forth from the desert, that it might win the radiance of the sun. I am a wave, and I will come to rest in the sea, that I may make the glistening pearl mine own. I who am drunken with the wine of this song. I am who I who am drunken with the wine of his song, draw life from the breath of his words. 'Twas night, my heart would fain lament. The silence was filled with my cries to God. I was complaining of the sorrows of the world and bewailing the emptiness of my cup. At last, at last, mine eye could endure no more. Broken with fatigue, I went to sleep. There appeared the Master, formed in the mold of truth, who wrote the Quran in Persian. He said, O frenzied lover, he said, O frenzied lover, take a draught of love's pure wine. Strike the chords of thine heart, and rose a tumultuous strain. Dash thine head against the goblet, and thine eye against the lancet. Make thy laughter the source of 100 sighs. Make the heart of man bleed with the tears. Make the hearts of men bleed with thy tears. How long wilt thou be silent like a bird? Sell thy frankness cheap like the rose. Tongue tied, thou art in pain. Cast thyself upon the fire like rue, like the bell breaking silence at last, and from every limb utter forth a lamentation. Thou art fire, thou art fire, fill the world with thy glow. Make others burn with thy burning. Proclaim the secrets of the old wine cellar. Be thou a surge of wine, and the crystal cup thy robe. Shatter the mirror of fear. Break the bottles in the bazaar. Like the reed flute, bring a message from the red bed. Give to Majnu a message from the tribe of Layla. Create a new style for thy song. Enrich the assembly with thy piercing strains, up and re-inspire every living soul. Say, arise, and by that word quicken the living. Up and set the feet on another path. Put aside the passionate melancholy of old. Become familiar with the delight of singing. Bell of the Corvan, awake. At these words, my bosom was enkindled and swelled with emotion like the flute. I rose like music from the string. To prepare a paradise for the ear, I unveiled the mystery of the self and disclosed its wondrous secret. My being was an unfinished statue, uncomely, worthless, good for nothing. Love chiseled me. I became a man and gained knowledge of the nature of the universe. I have seen the movement of the sinews of the sky and the blood coursing in the veins of the moon. Many a night I wept for man's sake, that I might tear the veil from life's mysteries and extract the secrets of life constitution from the liberty of phenomena. I who give beauty to this night, like the moon, am as dust in devotion of the pure faith, Islam, a faith renowned in hill and dale, which kindles in men's heart a flame of undying song. It sowed an atom and reaped a sun. It harvested 100 poets, like Rumi and Arthur. I am a sigh. I am a sigh, I will mount to the heavens. I am but smoke, yet I am sprung of fire. Driven onward by high thoughts, my pen cast abroad the secrets behind this veil, that the drop may become so equal with the sea, and the grains of sand grow into a Sahara. Poetizing is not the aim of this Mathanavi. Beauty worshipping and love making is not its aim. I am of India. Persian is not my native language. I am like the crescent moon. My cup is not full. Do not seek from my charm of style in exposition. Do not seek from me Khansar and Isfahan. Although the language of Hind is sweet as sugar, yet sweeter is the fashion of Persian speech. My mind was enchanted by its loveliness. My pen became a twig of the burning bush. My pen became as a twig of the burning bush because of the loftiness of my thoughts. Persian alone is suitable to them. O reader, do not find faults. O reader, do not find fault with the wine cup, but consider attentively the taste of the wine. With this, I think it is enough for this video to grasp the concept of the self. It is about 6 pages we have read today. They are more than enough if you could grasp it. It will open new horizons of life to you. This is anti-depression dose for your brain. Please like and subscribe to get latest videos of secrets of the self. Thank you.